I read a story today about some woman, some American woman, some woke liberal American woman who was so anti-America, so anti-ICE. She moved to Ireland, the spiritually brown country that lives just next door to us, with her Arabic refugee boyfriend. And she was found beaten to death. It's alleged that it was him, but there is no confirmed evidence of that. But it was alleged that it was him. Listen, all I'm saying is every single life lost is a tragedy, and I'm never going to sit there and praise life being lost. But that was stupid on her behalf, honestly. It does not take a genius to figure out that's a bad idea. There's a reason that we have the phrase, toll paid. Toll paid. Burn the coal, pay the toll. Eventually, white liberal women will realize that the more they try and virtue signal towards these foreigners, the more they're going to abuse them and take advantage of them. And people like that have to sadly learn the hard way. And nobody wants them to do that. We all advocate against them doing that. There's a reason that Hope Not Hate get mad at me and say that I'm viciously against interracial marriage, which is true, I am. And I don't even know why that's a bad thing, because if you ask any minority, they're also against interracial marriages. How many times have you seen like an African family criticize their son or daughter for dating a white man or woman? All the time. Asian families are very strict about who they date and who they don't date. I mean, arranged marriages are very common in Southeast Asia. They're very strict about these things. And then I say, hey, listen, maybe white people shouldn't go out there and date blacks or Asians, and they should just stick within their own race. And apparently that's the bad thing. You talk about oil and water. Rupert talks about oil and water when it comes to culture. That's oil and water. That's oil and water. That just doesn't work very well. Doesn't work very well for the people involved. I mean, there's a reason there's a stereotype about white woman goes off with a black guy, ends up a single mother. That's called pattern recognition. So people got to realize this. They got to comprehend that we're not saying, listen, when I'm saying that and I'm saying I'm against interracial marriage, I think it's degenerate. I think it's immoral. I think you're betraying your ancestors. I think you're putting yourself in a bad situation. But I also think you're putting your kids in a bad situation. If you go on to have a child and that child is a mixture of two different tribes, well, then it belongs to neither. Everybody has heard the phrase, too white for the black community, too black for the white community. That is the reality. That is the conclusion of a mixed race child. It is not perceived as being part of either group. It is given an identity crisis. That happens a lot. I mean, how many times do you see somebody that's mixed with the white race and then they feel more connected to their ethnic side, so they pull away from their white identity and they just move to their ethnic identity anyway because they feel like they don't fit in? It's an identity crisis. Stop race mixing. For fuck's sake, just stop race mixing. It really should not be that difficult to comprehend. Just comprehend. Stick to your own people. Nothing wrong with that. It's not a bad thing, it's a good thing. I live around a bunch of Chinese people. I've said this many a time. Many of you will know that I live around Chinatown. And they're all nice people. I have no disrespect to any of them. Nice, quiet people. One of them down there's got a child that just won't shut up. It did actually, no, I'll tell you this, it did stop screaming about 2 months ago. So I imagine it was a female. You know what the Chinese are like with their female children. That was a joke, by the way. That was, I'm being sarcastic. But they're nice people. But, this is the point. They're all dating other Chinese people. They're all dating other Chinese people. It's China, China, China. And then you look at the white guy, and the white guy's with like some Arabic girl or some like Korean girl. I've said this before. It's always the Asian girls that are with a mid-white guy every time. Or you got white women with brown men, because it's like, I'm inclusive. And how many times do I have to like go over these situations where it just goes wrong? Ayana, she was a nice, inclusive, hashtag BLM, virtue signaling woman, liberal white woman, stabbed to death by a black man on a train in America. Because she's being colorblind, and it only ever affects one way around. It only ever affects one way around. So, you've got to be careful. And that's why I say it, all right? I mean, that sounds bad. I sound like I'm being mean. I sound like I'm judging what people do. I kind of am. But he who cast the first stone. But please just stop. For your own good, just stop. I know in my own personal life, I've witnessed people do this, and it just ends up the same way. I'm like, there's no point. There is no point. 99% of the time it goes bad. Everything ends up badly. Just stick to your own people. Stick to your own kind. Don't be a coal burner. Don't try and sympathize with Arabic refugees. Stick to your own kind. It's better that way. We have more in common.